boxes so that you too will know what it is and be careful out there. Good morning, Samuel. Thank you for joining.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Samuel, we've engaged with you on other public health cases, other public health stories. Today, the first thing we are looking at is mpox. We have confirmed one case of mpox in Ghana. What are we looking at, especially as this is a public health emergency issue?
Okay. So thank you again for the opportunity. Yeah, it's a bit worrying. I guess over the last few months, I think a couple of weeks ago, I guess I spoke to your outfit, and it was also the minister, I guess, of health had declared a public emergency. Now, it's important that when we have such outbreaks, we look at the kind of communication we do and how we communicate so that we do not generate fear and panic among the citizenry. And for me, the way this news actually has been dealt with is enough. It's sending a lot of panic, into the minds of people. Now, the point is, we have an emergency, a public health emergency. That's what has been declared. But you ask yourself, what actually is the situation? We are only told it is just a little boy who is 15 years. That actually has been diagnosed. Now, the others are only suspects, meaning they are yet to be confirmed. Now, for me, for such a contagious disease, that has several ramifications and could also come to bring a lot of strain on our health system. It is worrying to still, I don't know how long it will take to find out whether these affected people, whether they can be confirmed negative or positive. But for me, I guess the time for diagnosis is critical in stemming any kind of outbreak of this nature. So for me, it is good that our health system has been able to pick this up. But diagnosis, which is key to help us to know whether this situation is widespread or is of this magnitude or not, we cannot tell. And for me, I guess we need to be careful with the kind of communication and information we put out there.
We need to be careful with the kind of information we put out there. But at the moment, as one case has been confirmed and the news is out there, what immediate steps should be taken to prevent the further spread so that it is contained at where it is at the moment?
Yes, exactly. I guess the Ministry of Health has been proactive enough from the time this case actually was cited. They've been able to, through contact tracing and other modes, like they said, identify a number of people who are suspected. Now, for us, the next thing is to make sure those people, they take samples and test and confirm or otherwise. But while we wait for these samples to be taken and confirmed or otherwise, it's important that the general public will also become aware that this is something in the system. Because once we find it with one person, it means it is possible it can get to another person because of how contagious it is. So we need to be up. And for me, they say prevention is better than cure. Or early reporting also helps the clinicians to be able to deal with the issues. So like we say, when you begin to find some rashes, you get this feverish condition and all the other symptoms that the Ghana Health Service is talking about, do not waste time and try to treat yourself at home. Just go to the next clinic, the facility, so the facility attendants who also are trained can be able to diagnose or use their various triads to be able to either get to know this is a suspected case or not. So for me, let's report conditions. Let's take our lives into our hands and go to the facility when we find anything unusual, particularly the rashes, the fever, the weakness, and all the symptoms that are associated with mpox, because we cannot tell whether it's mpox or any other illness.
Samuel, what treatment options are available for persons who get mpox?
Yes, of course. There's not a particular treatment actually that, for example, that we know for malaria, there are anti-malarials that you can easily point to. But for mpox, I would not want to talk about what treatment for. The most thing is it's a clinical issue. You need to go to the clinic and the clinicians, depending on the severity or what shows up, they would know what to do to manage the disease. But the main thing is, let's show up at the facility when we have signs which are unusual, and then the clinicians can take it up through diagnostics and finally confirming them.
Somehow, with this young boy, the teenager who has mpox at the moment, there isn't really any information whether he traveled out of the country, whether he got in contact with anybody who had mpox. What are the potential sources that could have contributed with him getting mpox, as there seems not to be any information about whether he got it from someone or traveled out of the country?
Yeah, so for me, this is a very critical question. It's also always very important to find out the index case. I mean, the first case and then we can use that to find the source. After it will become very difficult actually to tell the source until there are further revelations out of the investigations from the Ghana Health Service. But the fact of the matter is, it's been identified that these animals, like rodents and other animals like monkeys and other rodents, actually are able to carry the virus and able to pass it to man. So I guess the alert from the Ghana Health Service is ideal that people should be careful. For now, we may have to stop the consumption of some of these meat from these animals. I mean, the grass cutter, the those in the wild, the okisi, excuse me to say, and all the other bushmeat. Let's be careful until we are sure through investigations what is revealed, and then we can know. But we know they live in some mammals and they can pass it to humans.
Are there vaccines for mpox?
So vaccines, of course, there are vaccines generally. I guess what we have in our state now for this country, we know of the 13 key antigens that actually are administered to children from age 0 to the time they are about 18 months. Now, all of this is to help to boost the immune system of these children or everybody as they grow up till they are 5, where their immunity is fit or perfect somehow. So what actually it is we cannot, I don't know of a particular vaccine for mpox, but for countries, for example, when we had the outbreak in Congo, there were clinical procedures that were used to manage people that got the viruses. But as to a vaccine for that actually prevents mpox, I am yet to be educated on that.
Finally, Samuel, can you confidently say that Ghana is able to manage this mpox if the outbreak spreads, and are you confident that we'll be able to manage mpox so that it doesn't escalate into an epidemic?
Yes, of course. It will be unfair to say I am not confident of the Ghana Health Service in managing this, because you see, of course, even COVID is a testimony. We can tell from the action of the COVID, of course, together with the government and the leadership of the president, in how we were able to contain COVID, which actually ravaged and destroyed other countries who even have very stronger systems. So we also know within 2022 there was a similar outbreak, and that also fairly was managed. So looking at experience and what has happened before, history, we can only say we are confident. For now, based on what we have seen in the past, I hope that the Ghana Health Service will step up their efforts and be able to nip this in the bud as soon as possible. I am quite confident, and I know the Ghana Health Service will do all they need to do to stand this.
Well, right. Thank you, Samuel.
Very grateful, and thank you for reaching out to me on this issue.
Samuel Arthur is a public health analyst. He is very confident in the Ghana Health Service to be able to nip this in the bud so that it doesn't spread beyond where it is at the moment. Let's take a look at what mpox is for those of us who are not familiar with mpox. Mpox was formerly known as monkeypox virus, and it is a member of the orthopox virus genus, closely related to smallpox virus. So mpox, smallpox, they all belong to the same family. It was first discovered in 1958 in a lab monkey, and the first human case was discovered in 1970 in the DR Congo. Over 99,500 cases have been reported globally since the outbreak of Mpox, and over 14,250 Mpox cases have been reported in this year alone, 2024. And this is the first one we are reporting in Ghana. The first Mpox case was linked to Ghana was discovered in 2003. These are the types of Mpox. They are the clade 1 and the clade 2. The clade 1 is endemic to Central Africa, and it has a high mortality rate. It has a variant which is called the 1B, so it is a clade 1B. The clade 2 is endemic to West Africa. So clade 1 is endemic to Central Africa, and clade 2 is endemic to West Africa. But that clade 2 has a 0.1 severity rate. It has a 0.1 severity rate compared to clade 1. So it means clade 1 is very strong. And when we say something is endemic, it means that that thing is native, or it belongs, or is prevalent in a certain place. So clade 1 is prevalent in Central Africa. Clade 2 is prevalent in West Africa. Clade 1 is deadlier than the clade 2. The clade 2 has a 0.1 severity rate compared to the clade 1. Clade 1B variant is more transmissible, which spreads occurring through routine contact. You remember we said that there is a variant of the clade 1 called clade 1B. That variant is transmissible, means that somebody can contract it from another, and it spreads through routine contact. Routine contact: handshaking, hugging somebody, rubbing your arm against somebody's arm. These are routine contacts, and that is how the clade 1B can be transmissible. The clade 1B variant is associated with more severe diseases. It is associated with more severe diseases. And to spread, for Mpox to spread, it needs direct contact with an infected person. Direct contact through saliva, through nasal mucus, through areas around the genitals, through the vagina or the anus of a person infected with Mpox. This is how Mpox can spread. And environmentally, if you like touching the surfaces of objects contaminated with the virus, contact with infected animals. You remember Samuel said that animals such as monkeys and other animals in the wild or in the bush carry this virus. It's important to note that the Mpox case that has been confirmed in Ghana, the clade or the variant that has been confirmed has not yet been stated by the Ghana Health Service. We only know that an Mpox case has been confirmed. However, the clade or the variant has not yet been stated or confirmed by the Ghana Health Service. These are some symptoms of Mpox: fever, body aches, intense headaches, swollen lymph nodes, chills, rash. Fever, body aches, intense headaches, swollen lymph nodes, chills, rashes. These are some of the symptoms of Mpox. So it is necessary that when you start to experience symptoms like these, you go to the hospital so that you are checked by a health professional. These are some of the recorded Mpox cases. 37,583 cases have been recorded from 2022 to 2024 in Africa alone. Out of these 37,000 cases, 1,451 deaths were recorded in Africa. 14,250 cases were recorded in 2024 alone, and out of this number, 2,745 have been confirmed, and 11,505 are suspected cases. 456 deaths, which is a 3.2% mortality rate, was recorded in Africa in 2024 so far, and over 15,000 cases and 537 deaths have been recorded in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Over 100 confirmed cases have been recorded in neighboring countries, and the most vulnerable countries of this mpox are the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. 70% of our children, and they are more likely to die from the cases than adults. So 70% of the people who have contracted mpox are children, and they also are more likely to die from mpox. So you at least now you have an idea, a very fair idea of what the mpox is and how you can protect yourself from mpox. And also, when you see certain indications on your body, like the fever we talked about, the rashes, general body weakness, headaches, do well to visit the hospital. Don't self-diagnose at home and then self-prescribe medication for yourself too. I know that as Ghanaians, it's very common that we do that, but when you experience such, it's right to go to the hospital so that the health professionals take a look at you, and then they can be sure what is happening with you. So this is a little about mpox. We now have a fair idea about mpox. I believe that in the coming days, the Ghana Health Service will be giving us more information about mpox. They'll be updating us on the measures that they are taking. But at the moment, they are containing the virus by they have realized, or now they know who has the mpox. It is a 15-year-old boy in the Western North region. He's been treated, he's being managed. However, other people who have come in contact with him are also being monitored. So the Ghana Health Service is doing all of these things in order to contain the spread of the mpox. So we too can do well by taking care of ourselves. It's right that in every case, just take care of yourself, practice your hygiene and everything, as we wait for the Ghana Health Service to give us more information on this mpox situation. But so far, only one case has been recorded in Ghana so far. This is all Forefront Story today on ABC in the Morning. We'll be back. Stay with us. You're still watching ABC in the Morning. Up next is Sports and Trends. You always need to be updated with what is trending in the country. Godwin brings us trends and sports.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH _. Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and
and trend segment that I am bringing to you, and I am Godwin Opoku Ochre. So today let's move straight into the trends that we have for this segment. We have organized labor trending. We also have Free the Citizens Now trending, and also the last one we have is Okponglo trending. So the reason why organized labor is trending, the President of Ghana, President Akufo-Addo, yesterday met with the organized labor and he asked for more time to solve all the requests that the organized labor are asking for. And here we have Fresh Taste. He is saying, I will be very disappointed if organized labor heed to the appeal of the president. He's been mute all this time when this Galamsey conversation started. And there are a lot of comments surrounding this request that President Akufo-Addo made to the organized labor. Also, we have Richard Ahiagba, the communications director for the New Patriotic Party. He raised some questions, and here he is asking that, one, is it true that the leadership of the organized labor received a 400,000 Ghana cedi donation from the NDC? 2, if it is true, is organized labor raising funds for anything? 3, if yes, they have approached other political parties for have they approached other political parties for donations? And the 4th question he is asking is, if organized labor is not raising funds, what informed the NDC's donations? And he is also asking, how is the NDC donations related to organized labor's sudden anti-Galamsey advocacy and the subsequent declaration of nationwide strike? And the last question he's asking is it a mere coincidence or there is more to it? And he added that, I would vouch for organized labor, but that won't be enough because it smells fishy. Galamsey is a menace. Let's not politicize the fight to defeat it. So that is why organized labor is trending, because a lot of comments have been under his Twitter page. We also have Free the Citizens Now and Okponglo trending because yesterday the Ghanaian citizens embarked on a 3-day demo that they've captioned it Stop Galamsey Now and Free the Citizens. And we brought to you the reasons why they are embarking on this demonstration, the Democracy Hub demonstrators that have been remanded. So yesterday was day 1 and today is day 2. So Eyes of Ghana is saying, wake up, it's day 2. Join us today at Okponglo as we come together to address the issues of Galamsey and free the citizens. Let's make sure Adudi and others know there are problems that needs solution. Your voice matters. And he also added, Stop Galamsey Now and Free the Citizens to the caption. So that is why we have Oponglo, Free the Citizens Now, and also Organized Labor Trending. And that is the main trends we have for today. Now let us move straight into the world of sports. So we are into the 5th game week of the 2024-25 Premier League season, with 9 absorbing matches set to take place across the country this weekend. The Premier League begins with a clash between Accra Hearts of Oak and Aduana Stars at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium on Friday, October 4, 2024. The match will kick off at 6 p.m. local time. Medeama SC returns to the TNA Park to battle Heart of Lions on Saturday, 5th October 2024. The kickoff is at 6 p.m. local time. After that, there is a bumper Sunday with 7 games. Asante Kotoko hosts the Accra Lions at Lenkley Sports Stadium in Obuasi, whilst Karela United welcomes FC Samatex 1996 to the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium in Tamale. Nsuatreman welcomes Legon Cities to the Nana Kunamansa Park in Nsuatre. Gold Stars FC host Bechim United at the Dance Park in Bibieni. Bekum Chelsea will stay at home for the second successive time as they welcome Young Apostles FC to the Golden City Park. Dreams FC, still in search of their first win in the campaign, will host Nations FC at the Tuba AstroTurf. 2 Premier League new boys clash at the near J. Kraku II Sports Complex when Vision FC hosts Basake Holy Stars to wrap up match day 5 matches in the domestic top flight. And we will bring you all the updates on the local Premier League as and when they come on. Also, on the national side, Coach Otuado is set to unveil the Black Stars squad for the AFCON qualifier against Sudan today at 1 p.m. at the Ghana Football Association conference room. And we will bring you details of players who makes the squad and the absentees. So stay tuned for more as we go into the weekend. And today at 1 p.m. we will bring you the live updates that you need to know surrounding the Black Star squad that will be announced. And that is all we have in sports for today. I am Godwin Opoku-Ochre.
That's sports updates and trends from Godwin Opoku-Ochre. Research has it that 75% of people who keep a journal of their dreams and goals are able to attain their dreams and goal early in life. So what are you waiting for? Grab a book and a pen, and then you get to have your journal right on the way. Let's start with some quotes. Writing is medicine. It is an appropriate remedy for the afflictions of the soul. This is a quote from Henry Frederick Amel. Now, as we prioritize our collective well-being, Mental Health Awareness Month serves as a powerful reminder to shed light on the importance of emotional, psychological, and social resilience. Mental health encompasses our entire being, influencing how we think, feel, and act. During this month, that's the month of October, we intensify our efforts to promote education, reduce stigma, and support individuals affected by mental health, and then we also help them in their conditions by fostering a culture of understanding and empathy. We can empower individuals to seek help, promote resilience, and ensure that everyone can live a healthy, fulfilling life. Through conversation, open conversation, accessible resources, and unwavering support, we can break down barriers and create a society that values mental health as equally essential as physical health. Now, let's move straight into today's topic. That's keeping a journal cannot be overemphasized. Keeping a journal allows you to record, reflect, and refine your thoughts, emotions, and experiences, fostering self-awareness and personal growth. By committing your thoughts to paper, you clarify your values, goals, and priorities as well, and develop a greater understanding of yourself and your place in the world. Through consistent journaling, you cultivate mindfulness, creativity, and resilience, transforming your journal into a powerful tool for mental awareness, self-expression, and transformation. And as I said in the beginning, if you are able to commit pen to paper and write down your goals, you are likely to achieve your goals on time. But on Tech Trick today, we are helping you to be able to achieve your dreams through technology, and there are apps or certain apps you can use in being able to achieve your dreams and also keep up in journaling. It is not everywhere you can go and then take either your diary or a book along, so you can use technology as well. And right on Tech Trick, that's what we bring to you. So the first one is Day One. There's an app called Day One, and this is for both iOS and then Android. As you're seeing on your screen, Day One is a personal journaling app available for Android, Mac OS, and iOS devices. Some features include data syncing with multiple devices, end-to-end encryption, markdown, authoring of entries, location, weather, date, time, another automatic meter date, quick entry menu bar, and then you are good to go. So Day One is a very good journaling app you can use. You clean interface, you can use photo and audios, entries, location based, where exactly you find yourself. If you go to the coffee shop and want to write something down, you can write down and then tag and search for functionality. Now the second app we are helping you is Evernote. Evernote is also an app that you can use for journalists, used for also both on iOS and then Android. Evernote is a note-taking and task management application developed by the Evernote Corporation. It is intended for achieving and creating notes with embedded notes or photos, audio, and saved by content. So Evernote also helps you to take your journal, and you can do this by note-taking and journaling, organization and tagging. If you are working in an organization, however you find yourself, when your boss is asking or tasking you with something, you can take some few points with the Evernote. You can also use audio and photo entries, sync across devices, so you can download the app and obviously create an account and you're good to go. The second or the third app we are looking at, remember, we are looking at apps or 5 apps that you can use for journaling. The third app is Penzu. So Penzu, as usual, is both on iOS and Android. So Penzu is a private online diary hosting website. Users can create written entries similar to a standard personal journal and can also upload photos from their devices. Penzu uses a freemium business model with special paid features, including unique fonts, AES encryption, rich text, and then formation or formatting others. So when you are using the Penzu app, you are able to customize your template. You are at ease or free to be able to change your font, the font size, the font style. You can also embed some photos and audio entries, reminders and prompts. Reminders and prompt in journaling is also very important, as we studied the last time on Tech Trick. When it sets reminders in doing things, it helps you to keep track of whatever you're doing. So when you are using Penzu, you can also set a reminder and prompt, and as well keep a password for protection of the things you do. Journaling is basically about your personal life. So most people write things about their personal life, some things they have been through, and they do not want other people to see or get to know. So when you are using Penzu, Penzu gives you a password protection whereby you can protect your journaling, whereby nobody can get access to your journal. The fourth app we are looking at is MoodFit. MoodFit was also, or is also, on both iOS and Android. MoodFit improves the fitness of your mood with proven tools and insights using MoodFit free mobile app, CBT, and Mood Journal, gratitude, that's mindfulness, and you can be able to mood tracking and emotional analysis, customize entries. So with MoodFit as well, you're able to customize entries, get to know how you want your template or your writing or your journal to be, as big as you want to be, as small, the font style, the font size. You can insert some statistics. Maybe you went out and you want to add some statistic in there, mainly because of you being a mathematician, and this app, that MoodFit, helps you write on the spot. And you can also integrate with wearable devices. So MoodFit as well is also both on iOS and then Android. You can download the app, create an account, and you are good to go. The last app that we are looking at is Journey. Journey is also both on iOS and Android, and Journey elegantly captures life's beautiful moments. It lets you upload photos, videos, and audio, creating a rich multimedia chronicle of your unique experience and treasured memories. So when you go out for a time with your friends whereby you spoke about something impactful, or you just went there to have a fun and a relaxation moment, you want to take some pictures and videos, you can also embed them in the Journey app. And when you are also writing or journaling, you can be able to add picture to your story, and then anytime you go back to it, it gives you the understanding or gives you memories to the time you went out there with your friends. So Journey is a great app that I will recommend to you, and you download the app, create an account, and you are good to go. So simple, intuitive interface, and you are able to embed photo and audio entries, tags and research functionality, export option, that's PDF and CSV. Now a bonus tip. Today I'm giving you a bonus tip right on how to certain apps you need to use to journal. It's not always that you need to have your pen and your paper always journaling. Using these things is not wrong, but you can also use technology and write on Tech Tree. That's what we are teaching you. So on the bonus tip, we are letting you know that the notes on your phone, that's the notes on your phone, everybody who is using a smartphone is having a note on his phone, and this helps you to be able to use your note, and you are good to go. So let's quickly look at how this can make an impact, how you can use this app to be able to do whatever you're doing. So the first one is to set reminders to journaling daily, experiment with different entries types, and you use tags and categories for organization, take advantage of prompt and inspiration and tools. And the last one is reflect on your progress and growth. So these are the 5 apps we brought you, and to be able to help you keep a journal. Keeping a journal is very important. Let's end with some quotes. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. This is a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. And right here on Tech Trick with me and your Pondenchi, this is what we brought you. Make sure to download any of these apps, create an account, and start journaling. My name is Andy Pondenchi. We'll come back with more.
Godwin and Andy have brought us trends, sports, and tech trick, the things that we should look out for. And Andy left you with something. He says that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It ties into the quote we started with about to dream. So believe in the beauty of your dreams, and I'm sure that you would reach heights that you haven't even imagined. Your voice matters in this country, especially at this period when we are gearing up towards the elections. For this reason, we come to you in your constituencies to hear your voice. Ghana Speaks is up next.
Times are hard in Ghana, extremely hard.
As we gear towards the 2024 general elections, there have been conversations around having a presidential debate. Will it happen or not? This is Ghana Speaks.
5 days today, on the 28th of September 2024, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, that's the PURC of Ghana, brought out a statement informing its consumers, that's Ghanaians, about the increment of water and electricity bill. In their statement, they stated what accounted for the increment, stating that the US dollar and the Ghana cedi exchange rate. They also made mention of the domestic inflation rate, the cost of natural gas and electricity rate, among other things that amounted for the increments of water and electricity bill. On Ghana Speaks today, we are in the Ladekotopon constituency, the Toyeliko area, specifically the Lante George area near the public toilet at the mechanic shop here. We are speaking to Charles Tete, Eric Mensah, Reverend Lai Alan, Alex Ashite, and Kweku Opon, sharing their woes and telling us how this increment has brought problem to them and how they are facing, and if there is a message out for the government, they let us know. So, Mr. Alan, minta mabi wake nuneni I increase the price ne. Previously, enye opio, ko opio water bill enye.
Ko pay awon 120, 1.2. Even wo pay onyon ko be. Sibia ne angmem no. Ni no na angme egba wo fen wo na. No jini ni wo we ake ameche no ka che no awo. Bena fe ni wo fen wo nyon wo yusu nu adwugba. Sibene eyo kaji ache no. Eba fe na agba eha wo. Ko ba yusu nu bibio ko pe. Ogba ni ekule nu ehebo. Besa no yusu le pi kuni onyon odwo he odwugba. Agbene nu na anu hu na ka ho ni bi ele hu na ka no efe na agba eha wo.
Okay. Mr. Mensah, okay, Mr. Alan Pangbe, she also finding out about any light noni ameng me. What side there? How is it affecting you? I don't have a problem. Be an ameng me face you.
No, me inside only igbana ji government akome fe you kwa. Akadi ane aka chake nita. Ni nita na chake anwo. Ko here rest there. Enye share bukashi 1 week po. The first agenda can cry or pure. When you income use your light, when you use your light in every month, in paying on the show 1.5 for I can use BP. In common, I can meet but no pay more than equal by 1 month or credit to 5 million. Oh, I say low by him. They could here be the honey mini pony. Come on, no, I'm come on. No government ekwane fe kwa aka won go yama one pin denche ekwane fe kwa wo
Mr. Ashiteminto ma bibu light ni amengme mi bia ne min ni bi o yuso ni call he light bill be enye eyo dani nuwe alo light eta min ni bi o yuso ni bi pilo alo ke o he light within a month alo yo 2 weeks ke talo
yuso ni bi pi yuso TV ke fan pe
ewo ke o light enye first or here ni me time ni alo me period your than time
first ke here almost 2 weeks kemi ya san sibianto ne ise na kan ino yo 1 month 1.5 so na ni sibianto mi almost 2 million a week.
Okay. Okay. So these are the problems they are sharing with us, and as I stated in the intro, we are at the Lante George area, that's Toyeliko area, and we are at the mechanic shop here where these men are working and they use electricity. We want to find out from Mr. Tete as well as you saw electricity fuel. Aha, it was good constant. On your mechanic light if it was about business me how is it affecting your business in the sense the light and I may increase here?
No baby I'm a tree, mammy tree, no be auntie. And the light they say that we are more there light in the and yet and our first no light no ultimate 50 cities. We bet me is more than 1 month in a tree. But as I say we got 1.5 and 2 million within 1 week. NASA. Oh, nasa they say no ye bre krono ye hu de ko na electricity bill say so me problem ba ko ni say electricity bill say omo fa light be ma omo to wo mba kwa ko shema be say bia 3 months 4 months ye ba light bill ye de be bro no masa na e tipaye wo bedwi ho an ti ase no wo start change so omo so na ebi mo so de aye omo business omba ye jiska ne ya si bra office bra room say ubeko so we wo na we afide ye unhu de odi eyinu ko kire na afide na ma na ye ba santi light de we aye bla light hu ha na nsu no de masa enya asem kita na nsu wa ahwe me ho isi me po am nsu isi first gallon kufo gallon mi ne ya twa no 50%. They say 1 cedi isi 1 cedi me say we ba ko client mi me di dwale a enso me isi every day bia me boost ya more than 10 cedi a day. Inti de mebre no kure mi nkwa de mebre enye so bi na mbre de ame de mebre taban no hwe no ye.
Okay, inti me person me bisa say ejuma ha mo we motor light sen na motor how long because say oh you be car man obi for so you be car man other side inti government light ne be good. Inti me person me who say motor first anapo how much lights na motor and a motor how long does it last?
Okay, yeah, the amount no first no na ye to amount no utobe say 100 cedis a etimi do fa be say the whole month. They say the 250 kra etimi do 2 weeks kra enso na asa because of prepaid now money abanity 2 weeks now 2.5 na ko etimi can you imagine I say 2.5 a week no 2 weeks no 1 month enye 500 cedis enti light bill ni de masa enye kra enye
Oma yusu ya mita rada no ama wa yusu wa mita mumu no wa yusu wa mita here na ke ba me kengbe wo chon no mu ama ha wa yusu wa mita mumu no wa mita mumu no wo sumu aga shi onipa ni oje p pay light bill p pay water bill ni wo man bi o civil say o pay water bill ke ni bi aha soldier pay light bill e pay water bill police pay light bill ona ni kumo wa man bi o pay na kan ni o amekwe na ame kwa mi awo aka one pin no more one pin e wo government e kwa na fe ya kwa aka wo pia awon pa e wa me kwa na me fe
me support me pese me bisa say ye nyina ya te sene ya galamsey ho nsuo galamsey ama ye nsuo e wo man mu aye then wadwen e fa nsuo na o matumu no ene niema na e ko ho galamsey ankofo egu so ye no then wadwen kire.
Oh, thank you. Majun ke akran say de empanyfo no eyema ensuo no say ye ne antimemfo na ye di side man de anka me say ka wo mutumi stop na bibia ensuo na nitia because ye ma me no mo nkra ye na wo mo nsuo mo so mo pesika de ba wo mo nsuo say wo say ensuo na say bia obi nsuo tikromo ne tikromo nsuo kese bia na ha eno abi na mfati ye sone wo pipe ma ye binom nti akoba sa na aha adwene minim sene mesia kama adwene kire kakra ma kire nzenka wo mpanyifo no ntumi mien stop galamsey no enye de ene titi krom ye nyina enye galamsey ba nkakra kakra ne modern boy kontufo na enye nkakra kakra dididi na yese ntuo no ntiminti na eni ntumi na wa kama na bibia nkoso kama wo man mu e ba sa e boboy.
Okay, as wo remember na gbe me ko me hu ye misala me ko ye dwan ke government ba angmanu emi ni ba ha wo nu it's okay she bia ne angmanu emi she pipe ba because ko te area ko me na ame pipe ba kra e wo mi junu ni obo odwomo ye ake angmanu mi a pay she so le nu flow tamobi na sana flow
akane no bi miele eji anokwale nu flow ya he ko me ni bon ba wo goga alo ba wo roba ake e afunu ba ya anka ete kule kete an wetele no e tele sie tepe aka enye ya akure ya yombo ko yehia ni kule yombo ehu e ba fo ni bi ai e ba fe ni bi yehia sane ya fa to mo sie no mo lo sie pa ne kule la hwe wale sie no mo ke sie pa ni ba ya e ja ke ya na kan e ba fret la ke e ya no tumo hu e ba ya no tumo no de ba ya no tumo e fa ya ke ni bi e ba gbe na no won pa fa ya ke government agbele pipe e koni na mofia mo anya afo nu kanu e ba na afo amomosha agbere keshika aka peshika ba anya peshika chikeji na nu e ba ne aka afo lo nu ni mo ba tele nu ba tele nu eji na agba ke ha wo fen ye maami no komeni yo mi ne.
Okay. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, that the PURC, brought out yesterday, 1st of October, that the water bill will be increased to 1.8%, and then electricity will also be increased to 3.02%. So we are finding out from them their final message, or a message to government. If there is something government can do about it, what do you want government to do? Say, you are a person abiding ya. Then pan up so yefa in so any water bill in so any light bill in
what is about for my better and being in no I fancy any about for my better. Yeah.
Tony government equity no fear won't qualify. Equity no fear. I keke menu minipo lebe be wo many way your mammy won't qualify. The equity no hour. At the tomb beneath I'm on PP light bill. PP water bill. Ni wono wo pi o me ni wo pi o sana me kwe na chi no awo shi wongo.
Me oni ni ko aji eche no e hawo. E ka light no no nka twon ni machine shop twon ni e. Nwe dio. Nka late twon late work hu ye machine light no e. No ka ji me ba ka ni tumo baneke ni otuni ekole obai 1. Ekole bai tumo 1 million. No okay like 2 million alo 1.5 here me am you he pay sure ona no sana ache no ha ko ni kaji wo tuni wonye wo che no ha me kaji wo che no ha me e ka ame na me she ka ame ka nu tumo enye ba e ha wo e ka wo tu e ame.
Okay mbacho aseme na okacha
me so de mechanism se on ti so se de we aye ka no ye pentu so no on ti so maye large bay no na water bay no on de on ti so because ye bre nti on ti so ye sre no on de ti so because tax na de nyina obi atu bi nti on de onti water bill no na electricity bill no on de onti so kakra maye ne yentimi ntua se na menua no mo kan no eno an na ehia sese.
So over to you, government. Your people have spoken. The people and residents of Ladade Kotopon constituency and the Toyeluko area have spoken about the increment of water and electricity bill, calling on government to reduce these increments, and they are mentioning and saying that these increments has really brought a problem to them in the sense of not getting water to bath, and a gallon that used to cost 1 cedi has now increased to another price that they can't pay. And since this is a mechanic shop that they work with light, there is a need for the light to be here for them to also get to be able to work when the customers count yesterday, 1st of October, that the water bill will be increased to 1.8%, and then electricity will also be increased to 3.02%. So we are finding out from them their final message, or a message to government. If there is something government can do about it, what do you want government to do? Say, you are a person abiding ya. Then pan up person yefa in so any water bill, in so any light bill here.
What is about for my better and being in no. I fancy any about for my better. Yeah.
Tony government equity no fear won't qualify. Equity no fear. I keke menu minipo lebe be wo. Many way your mammy won't qualify. The equity no hour. At the tomb beneath you, I'm on by PP light bill. PP water bill. You will know what pay or many will pay or sana me kwe na chi no awo shi wongo.
Me oni ni kwa aji eche no e hawo e ka light no no nka twon ni machine shop twon ni e nwe dio nka late twon late work hu ye machine light no e no ka ji me ba ka no tumo baneke ni otuni ekole obai 1. Ekole bai tumo 1 million no o ka la ka 2 million alo 1.5 here me am you he pay sure ona no kana ache no ha wo koni kaji wo tuni wonye wo che no ha me kaji wo che no ha me e ka ame na me hye ka ame kanu tumo enye ba e ha wo e ka wo tu e ame.
Okay, mpacho aseme na okacha.
Me so de mechanic say me say on ti so say de we aye kan ye pentu so no on ti so maye large bay no na water bay no on de on ti so because ye bre nti on ti so ye sre no on de ti so because tax na de ale nyina obi atu ebi nti on de on ti water bay no na electricity bay no on de on ti so kakra maye na ye ti mintua se na menu an mo kan no eno an na ehia sisi.
So over to you, government. Your people have spoken. The people and residents of Ladade Kotopon constituency and the Toyeluko area have spoken about the increment of water and electricity bill, calling on government to reduce these increments. And they are mentioning and saying that these increments has really brought a problem to them in the sense of not getting water to bath, and a gallon that used to cost 1 cedi has now increased to another price that they can't pay. And since this is a mechanic shop that they work with light, there is a need for the light to be here for them to also get to be able to work when they.
So that was Ghana Speaks. Like I said, your voice matters, especially as we are getting into the elections. What your MP must know, what the presidential candidates must know. So we'll be coming to your constituencies. Do well to engage with us when you see us in your constituency, because we are coming for your voice and your voice only, because it is only your voice that matters in this conversation about Ghana. You are the one in the constituency. You are the one on grounds. You know what is happening, and you are the only one who can better tell us what your realities are. So that was Ghana Speaks for you on ABC in the morning. Let's take a quick break. We will be back. Stay with us.
Advertise your brand or business on ABC News GH Television. Call us on 030-278-8645 or 050-993-0360 to secure your slot.
Attention business owners, it's time to take your business to the next level with ABC News GH Television's mega promo. From August 1st to October 31st, 2024, we're offering you unbeatable deals to advertise your products and services. Don't miss out on this amazing chance to reach more people and grow your brand. For more details, give us a call on 050-993-0360. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Follow us on social media at ABC News GH_.
You're still watching ABC in the morning. Up next is Business Fix. On Business Fix today, we are taking a look at global happenings and their effect on us as Ghanaians, on our economy. At a point in the country, not long ago, we attributed everything to the Russia-Ukraine war. Some persons raised concerns about why everything that happened, we said Russia-Ukraine war, so much so that now it was like a trumpet that we were trumpeting. However, today we want to take a look, understand global happenings and how it affects us. Indeed, we are in a global village, and one thing that happens to one arm happens to the other arm. Let's narrow it down to fuel. When we hear a shortage in fuel, everybody is stressed, because how are you going to go to work if there's no fuel? For those who drive, how are you going to fuel your car? For those who board public transport, which of the transport options are you going to use when fuel is in shortage? These are some of the questions that we ask ourselves. And fuel pricing is always affected by something happening somewhere. All of these things play a role in our lives as Ghanaians, whether you directly buy fuel or you indirectly buy fuel. Prior to October, the fuel pricing windows had seen a decline in fuel prices at the pump. So you would find the various signages at the fuel stations, and you saw a decline in the pricing. I, for one, remember a taxi driver saying that, and let me say this in Chi. Oh, brother, for car, says see a fuel na kofom, petrol na kofom. Enti ofokra menje okese to it. Come and board my vehicle. The fuel pricing is down, so I won't charge you so much for your journey. This is because we are seeing a downward trend in fuel pricing. However, October, a new price was announced, the fuel pricing window, and we hear that fuel has increased. Many Ghanaians are unhappy with this increase because already Ghanaians are grappling with the high cost of living at the moment. Ghanaians say they are unable to pay for certain basic things that we should be able to pay for. So as soon as fuel price goes up, then we are skeptical, especially those of us who use public transport. One of the things that we trumpet all the time is that when fuel goes up, church drivers are very quick to increase their prices. But when fuel prices go down, they don't reduce their prices. So Ghanaians especially, we do not like to see that prices are going up, because it means that our pockets are going to suffer to a certain extent. Fuel pricing has gone up. Ghanaians are complaining. However, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers has predicted that Ghana could end this year, 2024, with significant higher fuel prices, and they are attributing it to the Middle East. There's some tensions in the Middle East, and COPEC is saying that if those tensions in the Middle East continue to escalate, our fuel prices will go up, and we will end 2024 with higher prices. Already, the oil marketing companies, OMCs, have adjusted the fuel prices upward in this first pricing window of October. Like I said earlier, there had been a trend of sustained declines in fuel prices. However, now it's gone up in October. COPEC is telling us that the prices may continue to go up and we will end 2024 with high fuel prices. We are supposed to speak with Dan Kanamwa. He is the executive director for COPEC. We're trying to establish contact with him. When we do, we will talk to him about this and how the tensions, the escalating tensions in the Middle East affect us here in Ghana. Someone will ask, I'm here in Ghana, all the way far away from the Middle East. Why does this affect me? So this is why the Middle East affects you in fuel. The Middle East is a key region for global oil production and exports. It is a key region in global oil production and exports. Remember, we are looking at global happenings and their effect on us here as Ghanaians. Fuel prices have gone up. Why have they gone up? Escalating tensions in the Middle East. You ask yourself, why should I be bothered? Now, here is why. The Middle East is a key region for global oil production and export, especially from countries like Saudi Arabia, Iraq, and Iran. So any conflict around that side affects us. Now, there is a conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. Recently, Israel launched a ground invasion in southern Lebanon against Hezbollah. Some casualties have been recorded. Very unfortunate casualties have been recorded. So when conflicts like this are happening, they of course can lead to geopolitical instability. And these instabilities threaten oil supply routes. Oil produced will go through certain routes so that they can serve countries. So any instability will lead to a threatening of the oil supply routes, particularly if it spreads to nearby countries, or if the conflict affects critical infrastructure like pipelines or shipping lanes. Like pipelines, fuel, gas, oil go through pipelines. This can create fear of supply disruptions. And when these happen, it drives up crude oil prices globally. Fear is one of those things that when it comes into a situation, everybody is disheveled. When you are disheveled, then you need to start putting contingency plans in there. Then we see crude oil prices going up. If global oil supply becomes constrained due to conflict, the price of crude oil on international markets very likely to rise. And for Ghana, we import a significant portion of our petroleum products. Ghana is very import reliant, and we import significant portions of our petroleum products. And if prices are going up, obviously we'll feel the effects of the increased cost. Because we buy crude oil in US dollars, we don't buy in cedis. If we speak to Dan Kanamwa, we would be asking him about how the gold for oil finds expression in here. We buy our crude oil in US dollars. So it means that it's going to translate into higher import cost for us as Ghanaians, or higher imports for Ghana. And this in turn will raise the price of fuel at the local level or at the pump. We import a significant portion of our crude and the fuels. And we buy it in dollars, we import it in dollars. When there are issues and prices go up, then we are going to buy it at higher prices already. Now look at our dollar, our cedi to dollar. It's high. That would mean that we'll need more dollars to be able to buy it. It comes into the country. Now, they've spent so much money buying it. Obviously, at the pump, they are going to increase the prices. Ghana's currency, which is the Ghana cedis, could weaken further than it is weakened, because it could weaken in response to the higher import cost and the volatility of the global market. Like I said earlier, we are buying in dollars. We spend CD. The CD to dollar is quite a huge margin. Now we want to buy the fuel that is expensive already. You need more CDs so that you can get the amount of dollars you need. It will weaken the currency. We will see a depreciation in it. And it will make it very expensive for us to import oil, import the fuel. And because of that, at the end of the day, it is the consumer that suffers. The rippling effect falls on the consumer, so the consumer will have to pay a higher price for it. I believe at this point we are now understanding how global happenings have an adverse effect. An adverse global happening will have an adverse effect on us as Ghanaians. This could also worsen inflation, because prices are going up. I mean, so much is going up, you cannot keep up because of global happenings. Rising fuel prices due to conflict that's happening anywhere will see price hikes, and because of these price hikes, the inflationary pressures in Ghana will be felt. Fuel costs will affect the price of goods and services across the economy. You are buying something for 2 cedis, the next time is 3 Ghana cedis, and you tell the woman that it's expensive. You tell the gentleman who is selling it to you it's expensive, and they tell you that, again, let me speak Chi. Make autonomy to your say. When I was going to buy, this is how much I spent on transportation. They need to offload that cost onto something. And because of that, it is shared onto the goods we are buying. And that is when we start to see the high cost of goods. So global happenings have a very huge toll on us as a people, especially as we are an import-driven society. Our economy is really import-driven. We spend so much importing goods into the country. So any little instability anywhere that has a bearing on the country causes the rise or the hike. So this is a reason why global happenings have a direct correlation with what happens in our economy. So for those of us who have asked questions about why things should cost, or why we keep referring to certain happenings in certain regions, I hope that this explanation brings some clarity to you. We are an import-driven economy. We spend so much of our cedis translating it into dollars in order to buy from outside, and because of that it affects us, and it affects us adversely and in various sectors, not just in one sector. One would think that in only the fuel sector, the oil and gas fuel. No, it affects the food you go and buy, the dress you go and buy, other sectors of the economy. We would, in subsequent conversations, look at how we can change this. We have said so many times, time without number, that maybe we should reduce the imports we are doing so that we can stabilize our CD. Indeed, it is something we should look at. We'll pay attention to the oil, the fuel, and also see what we can do to mitigate this situation. We've been unable to speak with Duncan Amoah, but we will establish contact with him so that in subsequent Business Fix conversations, we can talk to him about it. Because COPEC, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, has said that we may end 2024 with higher price of fuel, and they attribute it to the ongoing situation between Israel and Hezbollah. This is all for Business Fix today on ABC in the morning. Stay with us. Main discussion will be continuing soon. On our main discussion for today on ABC in the morning, we are looking at organized labor. They have finally met the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has engaged with them, and what did he say? He's asked for ample time to tackle Galamsey. You'd recall that organized labor says on 10th October, they are starting a strike. This is because of Galamsey. The president has appealed to them to reconsider their planned strike, which they scheduled for October 10, and he has emphasized his commitment to addressing their concerns regarding illegal mining. Illegal mining, which is wreaking a havoc on the environment. Organized labor says that there should be a state of emergency. They should call a state of emergency. The president should announce a state of emergency on mining. A repeal of LI 2462. These are some of the things that organized labor are asking for. Otherwise, they strike on October 10. However, the president says that organized labor should give him ample time so that he deals with the issue. He had a closed-door meeting with them yesterday with some union leaders, and he says that they should give him time. And he's asking that they postpone the strike so that he can work to meet their demands. But organized labor has expressed frustration over what it perceives as government's insufficient commitment to combating illegal mining. And because of that insufficient commitment, organized labor believes that it has led to widespread environmental degradation. In light of the ongoing tensions, the president has promised to invite organized labor for another meeting next week to further discuss their demands and explore solutions. Remember that the president set up an ad hoc committee to look into this. We'll be speaking with organized labor, but before, let's speak with Palgrave Boache Dankwa, who is the spokesperson on governance and security. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
A very good morning to you and a very good morning to your viewers and your listeners. Such a great opportunity to always be on ABC News GH. Thank you.
We are glad for your time this morning. The president met organized labor yesterday. He says that they should give him time. When he says time, what more time is the president looking at in order to reach a decision on this galamsey?
Well, I'm happy that the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has allowed the Ghanaian people to exercise their democratic rights. I'm happy that all other persons who said that the president was quiet about the threats of illegal mining and the destruction of our water bodies have now clearly seen that the president is very concerned, and the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has not been quiet about that. To be fair, I'm glad that the president met with organized labor yesterday at 9 a.m. at Jubilee House before cabinet began at about 11 o'clock. I'm glad that the president has given clear directions and clear guidelines as to when he would be able to respond back to organized labor. Having worked with the president and still working with him, when the president says that any institution or union should give him ample time to be able to address the issues, I'm very much aware that the president will get back to them and will respond very clearly. We have examples of that a few months ago when Parliament asked for the resignation or the change of the former Minister for Finance. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, did say that Parliament should give him some time because the then Minister for Finance at the time had begun a negotiation with the IMF. I'm glad that now the former Minister for Finance has been replaced and we have a new Minister for Finance, the Honorable Amin Adam, which clearly indicates that when the president does say that he should give him ample time to be able to address the issues, those issues will be addressed.
But how much time are we looking at?
Well, the president is still in office. We have 65 days to the 7th of December election and an extra 4 weeks to the handing over of the government to a new government, which for us, the New Patriotic Party, we believe that it will be the government of President in waiting, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But clearly, the president does have a lot of time. And I know that the president will respond back to organized labor within the time period that is mandated within the Constitution. And also to state that this morning, this morning, the Ghana Water Company Limited has given clear indications that Setre Himine water plant has begun to clear in terms of receiving from 1.9 million gallons a day to 2.7 million gallons a day, which means that the water is beginning to clear in Setre Himine that serves within the central region, Elmina, Cape Coast, and other parts of central region. And a clear indication has been given that it was as a result of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's call of all the regional ministers in September when the organized labor brought their statement out. And the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo set up the 5-member team led by the Sector Minister, the Honorable Samuel A. Jinapor, and the Sector Minister for Information, the Honorable Hadia Fatima Abubakar. I am very confident that the claims that organized labor wants with a state of emergency, with the revocation of the LI 2462, with setting up courts so that they can be able to administer mining cases, I'm very confident that as the water levels begin to change, it means that the government is addressing the issues. And I hope and pray that before the 10th of October, organized labor would come out very clearly and confident and state that they have good assurances in the President and Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and they are certain that President will respond to them and assure their union members to go back to work.
Organized labor is very clear on what they want the president to do. They say that declare a state of emergency, ban mining, and then repeal LI 2462. So they are very clear, and they actually expected to hear from the president on 30th September. Today is the 5th of September. Today is the 4th of September, sorry. You are saying that the president has some 60-something days until elections and also some weeks after elections. I believe organized labor is not looking at this length of time. They are requiring an immediate action to be taken. That is why when I ask that, when the president says he requires time, is he looking at giving us some information or giving some directives within the days before 10th? Because organized labor says that strike is imminent.
You know, as a student of governance and the broad scheme of that, sometimes when people make requests, we need to have a thorough think through. Let's just put this scenario in place. People have licenses to mine responsibly, and there is a law that binds them. Licenses have been given. Suppose that you go to record a license of individual A, and individual A sends you to court that you have no right to record a license. And if you have X number of small-scale legalized miners who are mining, and 100 of them send the government to court, have you thought about the process of how chaotic that would be? Have you also thought about the process of how, in the very heated political dispensation we find ourselves and the declaration of a state of emergency, being minded of the fact that we are surrounded by countries that have gone through military juntas, being minded that we are surrounded by countries that are going through terrorist attacks and threats, and how that would send an image of Ghana globally. And so sometimes really when organized labor or any union or demonstrators asking for things from government, it's important that they consider government in the holistic scheme of affairs. That government deals with stakeholders, which is why the president allowed organized labor to have a meeting with him, or which is why the president called organized labor to have a meeting with him, because government deals with stakeholders. And I'm very certain that from yesterday up until now, the sector minister, the Honorable Samuel A. Jinapor, has been tasked. I'm certain that he's been tasked to organize some meetings with some stakeholders. You are aware that there are small-scale miners who mine responsibly. We have not heard their point of view as it relates to the threats of illegal mining that is posing a threat on their responsible mining. And so these things, I've stated that these things organized labor is asking for cannot be resolved in 4 weeks. But
it can be a step in the right direction, can't it?
Absolutely, which is why for me, the news that is coming from Ghana Water Company Limited this morning, the issues that organized labor is asking for is that the water levels should become clean, turbidity levels should be lowered. So if you hear news from Setra Himine and Ghana Water Company Limited is stating that they are now beginning to record higher gallons from 1.9 million gallons a day to 2.7 million gallons a day, and the turbidity levels is reducing, it's a step in the right direction. I would want you to be able to commend government for taking decisive steps. But all of what organized labor is asking for is not something that can be done in a day or 2 or 3, which means that government needs to ensure that government has met with all the relevant stakeholders before government makes that decisive, concisive decision on what we want to do. And so when these issues happen, we cannot treat it like a small nuclear family. This is a country. It's a country with rule of laws. It's a country that abides with stakeholders. It's a country with very, very clear directives of mandates that people have. We cannot just call things into being and allow it to happen.
Well, if we cannot just call it into being, organized labor is saying that this is not like you haven't done this before. There has been a certain period where mining wasn't happening and the waters cleared. This turbidity that we are speaking about from the Ghana Water Company is actually not the standard turbidity. We haven't gotten to the standard yet. It is a process. Organized labor also believes that when you heed to some of their calls, it will also help in reaching the achieved goal, the achievable goal. Because if you listen to them and then you repeal LI 2462, you ban mining for a while and allow the land to breathe, it will also take away some of the things happening, because cyanide, mercury, in the time that we are still taking to deliberate, are still leaching into the soil. The high amounts of cyanide, the high amounts of mercury are still leaching into the soil. The water in other parts of the country are still turbid. They are still murky and muddy. Organized labor has said that what is happening in the country at the moment is an ecocide. Yesterday we spoke with Eco-Conscious, and one question the executive director asked was that, are we willing to come in, who is willing to come and preside over a country of sick people? So if we still look at a long period of time, we're still biding our time or biding our time, by the time maybe a concrete decision is taken, the worst could have happened to the people.
I missed your name at the beginning.
Abna.
Please, do you mind?
My name is Abna.
Abna, good. So Abna, let me be very clear and very honest with you. It's taken many years for us to get here, for the water bodies to be destroyed of this fourth republic. Every single government has had a toll of the destruction of water bodies from 1992 till date. I can tell you of a truth that resolving this issue short term will not bring the turbidity level to the level within which we want. It will take a long-term, concisive efforts for us to be able to arrive at this.
Yeah, but
which is why for me, no, let's be very pragmatic, okay, and have a conversation beyond political affiliations and have a nationalistic conversation.
That's what we are doing at the moment.
Scientists have had long conversations around how we can have our water levels to be crystal clear, how we can plant new bamboos, how we can plant lilies in the water, how we can leave the water so that it can be drained off, how we can pray to God for God to give us heavy rains. It's not a one-day issue that is going to resolve this.
But a short term can accelerate.
No, yes, absolutely. No, I mean, you see, short term can accelerate, which is why the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is ensuring that he's having a short term measure vis-a-vis preparing for a long term measure. It is taking this government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to remind the chiefs that they are the custodians of stool lands, that they own stool lands. So no chief should sit in their paramountcy or kingdom and allow illegality to go on. The president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has reminded the chiefs of that mandate, that they own the stools. And so if someone is doing illegal things, I have read reports of some chiefs that have been destooled, and I commend those kings who have done that. I've also read reports of some chiefs and kings stating that they are going to take back stool land that has not been reclaimed by people that have done mining. I commend that as well. So you see, it's not just an issue that government must handle, it's a collective responsibility of the citizenry, which is why for me, the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has been decisive from 2017, 4 months into his governance, set up a committee. There's been successive governments who have not had the level of drive and discipline and focus and commitment that the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has had in relation to the fight against illegal mining. So I think that as we speak about these challenges and these issues, we should give the president a feather in the cap. That yes, of course, Mr. President, we commend you for your efforts. We commend you for your deliverables. We also commend you for the results. Because I can tell you of a truth today, even though we have legalized a lot more small-scale miners, today we have people that have faces and names to the small-scale mining that they are doing responsibly. compared to many years where many of them were doing illegal mining and they were faceless people that you could not even see or
but those many years ago when they were faceless people, we were not experiencing NTU of water at 9,000. Today, per the Ghana Water Company's release, the NTU is at 9,000. We say that it is getting better, but ideally, the NTU should not exceed 5 units. Ideally, it shouldn't exceed 5 units. It tells us that we have gone far in getting into a hole that seems to be bottomless. At the time when they were faceless and they were going through it, we hadn't experienced walking or driving along water bodies and seeing how murky they were. So it looks like we have gotten, now we are between a rock and a hard place. We've gotten to a place where it is difficult. Ghanaians are afraid. This same report by the Ghana Water Company says that the Ghana Water Company, at the end of the report, they say that all customers are kindly advised to use drinking water wisely. It means that the water is still not at the place where it should be. It means that cyanide is still getting into our water bodies, into our lands. Mercury the same. And then we are placing ourselves at a risk of acid rain. Acid rain may fall, and we will have a terrible thing in the country here. So don't you think that taking these small decisions that maybe look like they are short term is necessary to take it and take it now, so that it sends a certain message to certain people? You have said that the president has engaged with chiefs. It's taken him to remind them of their mandate. Don't you think that taking certain decisive measures will also remind other stakeholders that this is it and this is what must be done? Because in all of this conversation, people have said that the government lacks the political will.
Abda, the government of President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo doesn't lack the political will. And I don't even wish to do a comparison, because if I do the comparison, the President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo will stand tall, taller than any government that has put their head on the platter in terms of the fight against illegal mining. But I'm in concluding, because I need to attend to other medias who want
we have more conversation to have, Palgrave.
Well, in concluding, in concluding, you know, Abna, let's be very realistic. I don't want to scare Ghanaians of how long I feel it will take to clean up our water bodies that have been made up with cyanide and mercury. But my little studies have shown me that it would almost take 2 generations to clean that. Almost 2 generations to clean it. And so short-term measure is for us to continually tell people move away from water bodies. Short-term measure is to let people use the mercury-free machines that we have brought so that people don't use mercury anymore. Short-term measure is to ensure that we continue to implement our alternative livelihood program in the mining communities. Short-term measure is to ensure that we make sure that people are mining responsibly. Short-term measure is to ensure that the community mining works as well responsibly. Short-term measure is to ensure that the chiefs are reminded of their responsibilities to continually be custodians of the stool lands. Short-term measure is for everyone in this country to be a whistleblower. And I'm very certain that if we move this conversation above politics and we make it a nationalistic conversation, and we all care about the fact that children are born with disabilities and people are drinking water that is not good, and we want to be able to curb that, we would have a very healthy conversation.
Well, it's because of this nationalistic conversation.
I am very confident, if you may. I am very confident that President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo would be able to resolve this within the period that he has before the government of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia picks over from 2025. And it's very clear in the manifesto of Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia that we are going to give a lot more funds to the Geological Survey Agency to be able to locate and identify where our minerals are. So people do not just go and mine everywhere that they want. And we're going to digitalize this. So in the future government, I'm very confident, as we have the foundations that has already been laid, I'm very confident that a lot of these issues will be resolved. But I really want to thank you for the opportunity that you have given us.
Before you go, since you say you have a meeting, right now you cannot really tell the difference between people doing small scale and people with illegal mining. So many people have licenses, especially those who are just supposed to do exploration, and they are using those licenses to mine. Maybe the government should take a look at the number of licenses, take a look at all of these exploratory things, and then pay attention to it and just, for want of a better word, and just ban that for now. Because that is what Ghanaians are calling for, and that is also what will address the situation. Because at the moment, many Ghanaians are saying that because we are getting to elections, the government is dragging their feet on making concrete decisions because you don't want to lose the elections.
Abena, we will take your recommendation and we will look at that when government says to look at the way forward.
Well, since government says it's calling the labor union to another meeting next week, we'll do well to come back to you and hear. Maybe by then the president would have taken a decisive measure on this issue of galamsey in the country. Thank you for speaking with us, Palgrave.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Have a good day.
Palgrave Boakye Dankwa is government spokesperson on governance and security. He's given us government's position on galamsey. But the president met with organized labor yesterday and he's asked them for more time. He says organized labor should give him some time so that he can look into their concerns. And he's also asked them to reconsider their planned strike, which they have scheduled for October 10. Organized labor gave the government up until 30th September to take a decision on galamsey. They were calling for a ban on mining and they were calling for the repeal of LI 2462. Galamsey is a menace in the country. Galamsey is ridding the country of the resources that we have, and galamsey is hurting the people of the country. It's because of this that demonstrations are happening. Democracy have had a demonstration against galamsey yesterday, today, and tomorrow. There's a demonstration for freeing the citizens, those who have been put in police custody as a result of the demonstrations they went on, and also to drum home the need for galamsey to stop. The president has met with organized labor. If organized labor goes on strike, we all know how how much of a headache it will be on us as Ghanaians, how much of a headache it will be on the economy. And because of this, president has met with organized labor, says organized labor should give them some time. Yesterday we spoke with Awula Sewa. She is the executive director for Eco-Conscious Citizens. And Awula Sewa said that galamsey at the moment is an ecocide. An ecocide. We are killing ourselves because of illegal mining. So much mercury, so much cyanide entering into our water bodies and the land because of galamsey. Our water has been very turbid, very murky, very muddy. At the moment, we are recording 9,000 NTU as per the release by Ghana Water Body. Initially, it was about 14,000. However, ideally, it should be 5 NTU. It shouldn't exceed 5 NTU. That is how much turbidity you should see in water. But at the moment, because of galamsey, this is how far we have gotten to. So, organized labor is asking the government take a decision. Joining us for another conversation is Isifu Seidu Kudus, who is the head of advocacy for Settle Ghana, for this conversation on galamsey. Good morning, Isifu. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning, my dear sister.
Isifu, what do you make of the president's request for more time to make a decision on the way forward for the galamsey fight?
All right. Thank you very much, my dear. And then good morning to you, to your listeners and viewers, to your management. Unfortunately, let me apologize that the network here is not too good. And it's raining here, so I'm inside the car to plan this info. So let me first of all apologize for any wrong thing that would have been occasioned as a result. All right. So if the president, if I heard the president right, he's asking for more time. What time again is he talking about? The president has had 7 years, 7 and counting. 7 years, 8 months. What has happened to the fight? If there has been any time in this country that any president or any government had the goodwill of the people in respect of the fight against Galamsey, it is this government, this president. In 2017, when the media coalition started this, they didn't even call on government by itself came in. The president came in and made a promise to us. The people of Ghana gave him the power to authorize for funding to be allocated for the fight against Galamsey. He did so. We have allocated millions and millions of Ghana cedis for the fight against Galamsey. And today where we are, with the news from Ghana Water Company, the news coming from Ghana Medical Association, news coming from various bodies, including the National House of Chiefs, it is a failure. And if you have failed for the past 7 years, I don't think any other time that you give to the president would work. What organized labor is asking, and what Ghanaians are asking, and what civil society organizations are asking, is just something that the president should listen to and do and get us out of this. Put a moratorium on mining. We are not calling you out for your failure. We are saying that just put a moratorium, declare a state of emergency. Even if you don't declare it, we are already in a state of emergency. All of us are at risk. It doesn't matter wherever you are, whether you are in Accra, whether you are in Florida, you are at risk. So what we are requesting and what organized labor has requested is that declare a state of emergency. The question you and I should be asking now is, why is the president unable to make this declaration? That should go to a point where we can put something on it and say that the president has something to hide. Either he has something to hide, either he and his government are complicit in this, or they have something to lose. These are the options, the possible options. Either they have something to hide, or they have something to lose, or the government and its architecture are complicit in this. Otherwise, I can't understand why a simple ban on Galamsey, which he did in the past, would that even been coerced by organized labor and Ghanaians at large. In the past, in 2017, when he put a ban on all form of mining, nobody forced him to do so. Organized labor didn't ask him. He saw the need to do so. So the question we're asking is, what is the difference between the blanket ban that the president put on mining of all kinds in 2017 and today? Why is it that the president cannot do it today? It goes back to a point where we keep making. If you listen to the voices of his people, both in government and in parliament and at the party level, whatever they are saying points to one thing. Their interest is to win power and not to govern. Because if a sitting MP would come and say that they won't ban Galamsey today, in fact, a medical doctor, they won't ban Galamsey today, they won't ban Galamsey tomorrow, because if they do so, they will lose in the Galamsey areas. If you win power and come and you don't meet any Ghanaian to rule, which country are you coming to rule? So if you look at it, you can put all the dots together and come to the conclusion that the reason why President Akufo-Addo has been engaged in this inertia is his inability to act, his inability to give the whatever order that we are requesting him for Galamsey to be banned, at least temporarily, for us to see for the next 2 or 3 months what will become of water. The reason why he can't do so is because he feels, just like his MP and his party executives feel, that when they put a ban on it, they will lose power. Is that where we've got into as a country? Do we put political power ahead of people's lives, ahead of babies, innocent babies that have not committed anything. Today, babies are born and they don't have their part of their body are missing. They are born deformed. Some are born without limbs. Some are born without. Yes.
So should organized labor give the president the ample time he's requesting for?
Not at all. We and I personally was against the extension of the strike to terms. When you do that, you are giving the president an opportunity to come and do this thing, these tricks that the president is engaged in. Once organized labor gave a time, the first time they gave was up to 30th, and they made this declaration in the early times of September. The president had all the time up to the end of September, and the president did nothing. The government did nothing. I didn't understand why on the 1st of October, organized labor will now come again and give another extension to 10 days. That was quite needless because all workers of this country, every one of us, were all ready for organized labor to make the declaration on the first that after the expiration of the 30th that they gave to the president and his government, we are going on strike. And not only strike, we needed to go on strike and also hit the streets and keep pushing. Because it looks like the only language that this government and this president listens to is people to go out there and, and demonstrate and make noise. Otherwise, negotiations, diplomacy, it doesn't work for him. So we were against organized labor giving up to terms because you are giving room for other negotiations. That is not what we are looking for. Organized labor should have declared on the 1st. So if the president is still even asking for more time after the term, when again? Meanwhile, a day or 2 or 3 days lost in the fight against Galamsey, thousands and thousands of people are affected. Hundreds and hundreds of people are getting contaminated with the water they drink. Several forest reserves have been destroyed. Our water bodies have been destroyed. Even a day that is missing, a day, losing just 1 day, costs a lot of lives. So if the president is asking for more time, what exactly does he need that time to do? What does he need to do? How long does it take to issue an executive order? How long? So we don't believe that organized labor should give the president any time. The president had 7 years and couldn't do anything. It's not a 2 months. These 2 months, you want us to share it with you again? No, not at all. Organized labor should go ahead. At least we have allowed the terms to come. But when the terms come, there shouldn't be any extension. Let's grant the country to a halt. If the president is not interested in fighting for our interests, let us be interested in fighting for our interests. If that is the only language that the president will hear, let's go ahead.
There's been a ban on small-scale mining in the country. Small-scale miners, however, say that they are not the ones engaged in illegal mining and that it is other persons engaged in illegal mining. Won't it be unfair to them to deny them their legal right to mine because of government's failure to combat illegal mining?
So there are 2 things here. One, when President Akufo-Addo in 2017 put a blanket ban on Galamsey, on all mining activities, including legal, small and medium scale mining, legal or illegal, where were they? Where were they? Let me say this again. People are hiding behind licenses. Some of them prospecting, not even final license, prospecting. And they are doing illegal mining. So let me say this. What constitutes illegal mining is that there are those who do not have license at all and they go ahead to mine. It is illegal. It is Galamsey. 2, there are those who get a prospective license to go and prospect. They go beyond that to engage in mining. It is illegal. There are those who get the license to mine and they are given their area. There is always a cadastre that is given to miners. So if you have 10 plots of land, if you have 2 plots of land that you are supposed to mine, for which license you have been given, then you go outside, even an inch outside of that, you are engaged in illegal mining because on the land that you are mining, that has not been captured in what has been licensed. That is illegal. There are those who have been given licenses, legitimate licenses to mine, and they go ahead to pollute water bodies. It is illegal because the law frowns against that. There are those who are giving licenses to mine and they go inside forest reserve that are red zones. It is illegal. So for us to be able to get to the bottom and for us to be able to get a solution, that is why we are saying put a blanket ban on all form of mining. Let nobody take an opportunity of a license to go and engage in an illegal activity. Let's do that for the next 2 months for our water to regain their integrity. Is that too much to ask? And some people will come and tell us, well, we're not in this country when we're told that the NPP woman organizer was not engaged in illegal mining. But the excavators were bent. Why were they bent? Were we not in this country when the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources came and told us that Akonta mining, which belongs to Chamahuti, they were engaged in illegal mining? The president went ahead and said they were not engaged in illegal mining. So who is telling us the truth? So for us to be able to get to the bottom of this, that is why we are asking that put a blanket ban on mining, all mining activities, with the exception of industrial mining engaged by AngloGold Ashanti and those. They are engaged in deep pit mining. It is, that is industrial.
Okay,
but
thank you, Isifu. Isifu, thank you for speaking with us. We'll most definitely be having more conversation with you. Isifu Seydou Kudus is the head of advocacy for Settle Ghana, and he joined us on this conversation on mining. President has asked organized labor to give him some time to address their concerns. Yesterday, Free the Citizens demonstration started. It is a 3-day demonstration. It started yesterday. They convened at Otonglo at the University of Ghana all the way through to the Independence Square or the Black Star Square, where they presented a petition to the Attorney General. Today, the demonstration continues, and today they will be submitting or presenting a petition to the Lands Minister. Aremeya Usama is a convener for the Free the Citizens group. Good morning, Aremeya. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. And before we proceed, for the record, I am a spokesperson for National Coalition Against Illegal Mining on fresh waters and our oil reserves.
Well noted. Well noted.
Yeah,
thank you.
We are a partner to the conveners as well. Yeah.
Well noted. Aremeya, what do you aim to achieve at the end of this 3-day protest?
Yes, the 3-day protest is supposed to achieve 2 objectives, as we mentioned yesterday, and we are repeating. We want government to ban unlawful and illegal mining activities on our freshwater bodies as well as our forest reserve. And then number 2, we want our brothers and sisters, those heroes who have been unlawfully arrested and are currently under unlawful detention, awaiting when the court will finally give the verdict, whether they will serve a sentence or they will be free. So we are also calling for their freedom as well. So these are the 2 objectives we seek to achieve with this protest. This protest might not achieve it 100% for us, but now organized labor, if I heard right, and I've read in the news that they are embarking on a 10-day or they are embarking on a strike, and then pressure groups, GJA, media, and other able bodies are also ganging up and putting pressure on government to take a deliberate step to alleviate or stop this menace of illegal and unlawful mining in our water bodies and forests.
We know that you are submitting another petition today to the Lands Minister. What are your demands of his ministry?
Yeah, so the Ministry of Lands and Mineral Resources, they issue licenses to those who reportedly are engaged in mining. So anything that has to do with mining of our mineral resources has to do with ministries of mineral resources. So it's in the right direction. The conveners are going to extend a petition to them. Yesterday, delegation from Attorney General came around to pick up a petition to the Attorney General. And in all of this, I've mentioned the objective already. These are the things we want to achieve: banning of illegal mining activities and then freeing of our brothers and sisters who are unlawfully kept behind bars as we speak. This might not be achieved after this 3-day protest, but we will never relent till we achieve these targets.
Beyond the 3-day demonstrations and the petitions to government, if government does not address any of your concerns, what will be the next step that you take?
There are several steps we could take, and we are already doing it with this protest. Yes, election is almost in December, and then few days to election. Ghanaians are listening to the conversations that is going on. Organized labor is one of the biggest labor organizations in Ghana, and if the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians are calling for a ban of illegal mining activities, and government has the authority to actually issue an executive order banning illegal mining, and then ceasing mining activities that pollute our water bodies and destroy our forest reserves, at least on a temporary ban. If the government was not ready to do that, then I think there are political implications for them in the upcoming election. And then beyond that, whosoever is coming to recline in the seat of government, we are never going to relent, and we are going to pursue the same pressure. There are other activities which we haven't disclosed to the public yet, because National Coalition Against Illegal Mining Activities, we are still trying to mobilize and organize individuals and organizations, student bodies, so that we can now have a roadmap that will let us achieve the objective of the ban within the shortest possible time, and that will be communicated as the time goes by.
Okay. Arimeyao, yesterday the president met with the organized labor. He's asking for more time. Do you think organized labor should give him more time?
Yeah, so this is the test. This is the test for organized labor. Organized labor embarking on this protest just to throw dust into the eyes of the public, or do they really mean to achieve objectives? The lives of any single Ghanaian is not up for bargaining. We are talking about lives of human beings. Organized labor doesn't lie within their. We don't expect organized labor to go into any negotiation. This is not salary negotiation. This is not welfare of working labor negotiation. This is about the life of Ghanaians. Water being polluted is a danger to every single Ghanaian. In fact, every single human being, including biodiversity, relies on water, and then the forest reserve for survival. And if these basic necessities necessities of life are being polluted, it's not up for a negotiation. We expect organized labor to stand resolute and shouldn't bend their knees to any demand of government till the government accepts and then implement the objectives we set.
Arimeyao, the 3-day protest, it enters day 2 today. Are you using the same route you used yesterday?
Yes, it's the same route we are using today. And I must admit that we have seen a more civilized policing, better than what happened there some days back when our brothers and sisters were unlawfully kidnapped by the police service. But there are certain worrying sides we see during the protest. We have militarized policemen all around us. Yesterday, the policing was done from the starting point of Onglo to Accra Sports Stadium. We were put in a cage. We have armed policemen in front, armed policemen on our sides, and armed policemen at our back. They have regiments who are on motorbikes. They have BFAP and reinforcements who were in VIP passes. So it doesn't speak well of Ghana, democracy of Ghana. Lawful protesters being ganged up like this in the middle of policemen. It's a dent on the right to freedom of assembly. It's a dent to the right to freedom of expression. We were not allowed to express ourselves.
Arimeyao, how did you want to express yourself? How better did you want to express yourself than you expressed yourself yesterday? Because yesterday you had placards, you were showing your placard, you were wearing some inscribed shirts, you used all of the routes that were marked for you to use. So in which other ways were you expecting to express yourself that the police presence there didn't allow you to adequately do that?
Yes. Then the numbers we expected yesterday was more than what came out, even though the number was quite encouraging. But when you see the way Felicity Nelson and Ama Governor, who were just standing on the shoulders of the road, were ganged up in a unit of police, when a unit of police approached them and kidnapped them in the manner they did, don't you think those who are a little bit scared will be afraid to come or show up at the protest? Of course they will. Even we that are at the protest ground, we don't know when the first bullet will be fired. We don't know who might be at the other side of the gun. They are holding live ammunition at protest ground. And you are asking me, we have expressed ourselves enough. Don't you think it's so intimidating to be put up in a cage right from the starting point of your protest till the end? With cameras, policemen now holding cameras and taking pictures and video footages of protesters just to profile them for whatsoever reason they are doing that. We don't know. But we say it's a worrying and concern for every single Ghanaian to see our democracy being militarized. We won't allow martial law in a civil society. Everybody has right to and freedom to express and to assemble and express that freedom. Whenever you see any action, whether it's nanometer or even the smallest particle that you of resistance to us expressing that freedom of assembly and freedom of expression, then we will talk. We won't accept that, and we will resist that. And that's why I'm saying the IGP have commended his people for at least being quite civil in yesterday's protest. But what we observe, the militarization of our protest is making it look as though the policemen are going for war. Meanwhile, these are lawful assembly. These are citizens that have notified the police to embark on a protest. Nobody in his right senses will notify the police that he's going to do something criminal. So we have always fulfilled our part of the negotiations we've had with police, and we expect police to become better and better each day. At least they were better than they were the last time when they kidnapped our brothers, and want them to be better today and even better tomorrow.
So you don't trust the police to be with you during your protests?
I don't trust the police service. I don't trust myself as well. In fact, I don't trust anybody. What I trust is my safety, and anything that threatens my safety is something I need to worry about. And I said the way and manner they militarized the police yesterday was not a way a democracy like ours. This caricature of our democracy is already is still young as compared to other advanced democracies. This is not the way we should nurture our democracy. We should nurture it with principles of democracy, equality before the law, principles of freedom of expression, freedom of assembly, the rule of law. But what we saw yesterday was not a rule of law. It was the rule of the police, which we said is a worrying concern, and we want them to be better.
Well, Arameyao, yesterday's demonstration, the first day of the protest, has been characterized by peace. People have said that it was a peaceful demonstration. What would you say was the cause for that? Would you say that the demonstrators were generally peaceful, followed set down rules, or you'd say that because of the presence of the police, as you say, is a form of intimidation, caused that?
Yeah, so it's two things we are talking about here. The police were not there to protest. So we, the protesters, were peaceful. So the people are commending our peaceful nature. We've always been peaceful. We have a very clean slate when it comes to keeping a track record of no violence protest. But the concern I'm raising is with the police when they appear or when they make appearance at the protest grounds. The way they appear now doesn't look better. And we don't want a police force, well, we don't want a police service that uses live ammunition at protest ground where people are just holding placards or just expressing themselves by words. So yes, the protest was successful and peaceful because the protesters made it so. But
so what's the Please go on.
But each time the police come around, they come around like what happened the last time that got our brothers and sisters kidnapped and currently under unlawful arrest. What happens is that the police are those who come to provoke. You see, the last time Democracy Hub held the protest, the first day there was nothing like any police engagement. But the second day that the police showed up, they showed up in units to arrest, in fact, to make unlawful arrest. And you and I see, we saw it on the social media. We've seen it there. It's captured in video footages. That the conduct of the police. No, you see, we are not saying the police is that bad. They can do better, and it will be better for us to talk about the things they are doing bad so that they can get better. And that's why we are saying IGP. Yes, you were able to bring enough policemen yesterday, but don't arm them. Don't give them guns. Don't let them come brandishing their guns everywhere. It doesn't speak well of our democracy. Are you trying to put fear in the youth? Is that how you want to raise the next generation? The next generation to solve the complex problems of Ghana that are even becoming complex by the day. By putting fear? No. Allow them to express themselves within the remit of the law. Don't try to breach the law itself and rather appear as though you are protecting. No, we understand very well what is happening, and we are not happy with the way and manner the police came out yesterday.
But Arimiao, you say that the police were also there at the Democracy Hub protest. The police were also there at your protest. However, we see a distinct difference between how your protest panned out on the first day and the Democracy Hub protest too. Can you establish a difference that caused what happened at Democracy Hub's protest that hasn't happened in yours?
Yeah, so what happened, the similarities first, both were lawful protests. You agree, both were lawful protests because they notified the police as law required of them. You agree, the police are supposed to protect lives and property. And you will agree, the police showed up at the last protest and they showed up at this protest. But at the last protest, what we saw was that they were arresting people who were just standing on the shoulders of the road, alongside arresting any other persons whom they claim have done things they are here to prove in court. So at the end of the day, it was the action of the police the last time that gave them a bad name. The way they conducted themselves the last time, this time round, they did a better job, which I commend them. On record, I commend them for being better this time round, by not being confrontational. You know, each time police confront a civilian, most of the policemen in their mind presume they are authority. Meanwhile, they are not. So when most of this youthful presence at the protest ground understand the law as well. Some of them are lawyers, and some of them really are grounded in law. You can't impose your instructions on any protester. You can have a civil discussion, but when you try to impose yourself because you are wearing the uniform as a police, and you get a resistance from a civilian, don't feel disrespected. But yesterday I realized clear instructions were given them, don't engage them, just go and do your job. And they did just that. But the only worrying side I'm complaining about is the militarization. They were holding live arms and brandishing around. We don't know what they were trying to achieve with that, and which we said they can do better in the next of future, protest.
Thank you, Arimeyao.
Thank you.
Arimeyao Wusama is with the National Coalition Against Galamsey, the National Coalition Against Illegal Mining, popularly known as Galamsey. The Free the Citizens demonstration enters into day 2. It is a 3-day demonstration for the release of the citizens who are in police custody at the moment, and also to drum home the effects of illegal mining, popularly known as Galamsey. This is all for our main discussion today. Let's take a break. We will be back. Watching ABC in the morning. We are moving into politics today. What is happening in the world of politics? Yesterday we looked at polls. Today we'll look at something interesting too. So up next is Politics Today. Talked about Ghana politics without prophecies. In my years of living, I don't think we have ever spoken about politics without prophecies, without religion. Maybe for the older folks, it might not have been that in your earlier days, but we are looking at politics and religion and how they are deeply intertwined. Ghanaian politics and religion, very deeply intertwined. While some politicians make their pledges to the people, others do their pledges to influence other people. While politicians make pledges to people, others are also speaking to other people. Some of the people speaking are prophets, the influences of prophets and religious leaders. What do? They make predictions about who will remain victorious in our elections. Yesterday, when we were discussing polls, we asked if polls have a bearing on the decision electorates make. In that same vein, do prophecies have a bearing on the decisions people make? Prophets and other religious leaders make prophecies and declarations about who will emerge victorious. And prophecies have long played a significant role in our body politic as Ghanaians. Since the return to democratic rule in 1992, prominent religious leaders have made public predictions about the outcomes of elections. These prophecies, often delivered from pulpits or shared through the mass media, have become a part of the electoral cycle. In the lead up to this 2024 general elections, prophecies have once again taken center stage, with prophets claiming divine insights, predicting which party or candidate will win, whilst others warn of impending political turmoil if certain outcomes occur. Interestingly, political parties themselves are not immune to the power of prophecies. Many politicians actively seek blessings from religious leaders, attending church services, and even publicly endorsing prophecies that favor them. Let's take a watch of some prophecies that have had the 2024 elections and previous elections. Prophecies that have come on for this 2024 elections and the previous elections.
You are saying it's not possible. And the more they say it, the more I see it clear. Especially when they said that for a couple of weeks now, I've been having calls, people calling me, Osofo, go back and prophesy again. Because what you are saying is not possible. And the more they say it, the more I see it clear. Especially when they said that 13 people are going to stand for the election. Watch me. This election will not go a second round. Mark my words. I'm serious. I've heard that great researchers have researched and everybody is saying it will go on a second round and all that. But I'm saying it. If you insult me, you are not insulting me. You are insulting the one that is speaking to me. So it's up to you, your children and your family. Me, I don't care. 80 say, Obia research. No, and I told you, sir, it's taking me 1.5 years to say what I'm saying here. And this one too, you can take it on and tell everybody I am saying that this election is not going on a second round. And I mean it. Okay. So not because of anything, but because that was what I heard God say. Jesus. And I'm very confident of what I'm saying, because when I see God speak, I see, and when I hear him speak, I hear. So if somebody, there are a lot of people that have been prophesying and saying the opposite of what I said. Nobody is insulting them. This is not about insult. This is my field. And if you are not scared that as for Prophet Victor, whatever he says come to pass, then you should not be scared. You see me as one of those people, and let us see, at the end of the day, the prophets will be known from the people.
Abraham Paibono Kosono, the Radia Kachemini, and Nam Openi Nakoma Papenti, Unyamia Sado May Asheni Sedi. Be be Messiano. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Ghana shall become better again. Ghana shall progress. It shall develop. Ghana shall rejoice. Ghana shall not weep. Ghana will not be teary. Blessings shall abide in the nation. We will experience development. In the name of the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Nobody
understands what I have done. Only heaven understands. Now, shall we remain standing?
Papa,
Your Excellency, God
we are
bless
very
you.
good man.
You're a very good man.
And you have a good heart.
Now, Papa.
I'm telling you, you have a good heart. God bless you.
May God bless all of you.
On the 9th of December, it's a prophecy. Write it down.
9th December 2024.
2024, which is 75 days time, 77 days time, because there's 75 days more to the election. I think I'm right.
Yeah, now 23rd in
Yes.
Yeah.
77 days time on the 9th of December, and also. My name is 101.
Yes. Declaration.
Yes. No, bit 48, 47. No, bit soon 50. Still.
Baku be jina 47.
47.
Na Baku jina 50. So 47 no be
50 no be kwa 50.9%.
Me body obe jina 50 no. Some fan MPP na ti akonwa so nti omo ana eto aso a na so omo ne benya 50 no. Anambo.
Yes, that says the Lord.
Okay. Now
the people that they say are my party members, NPP people, if they don't take care, they will lose almost 7 to 10 seats. But then, if NDC also don't take care, MPP will take over between 19 to 24 seats from them. But then, the election is on the 7th. On the 8th, the result will not come. Everybody shall be jittery. The result will come on the 9th. Some people will try to cause mayhem so that people shall die. And interestingly, they will call people on the street. And the first day, only 1,000 people will show up. The second day, no one will show up. And there shall be peace. And the result is obvious. The things are difficult. I know that there are 2 people coming. But the Lord has told me that by the 9th of December, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia shall be crowned the President of Ghana. This is not, you know what? This thing has taken me a very long time to say, because I wanted to be certain that this is not my emotion. And for those of you who are my children, you can go through the archives. Not one single prophecy of mine has fallen down void.
Prophecies ahead of the elections. And while some Ghanaians place great faith in these predictions, others are more skeptical, choosing to rely on political track records rather than divine foresight.
Oh, I'm a Christian, so as a Christian, I believe in prophecies, you understand. But then at the end of the day, if a prophet says he's seen something, it is him. He is the one saying. So probably, maybe really he's seen it, because I mean God reveals to redeem. So I don't think that prophecy can influence anybody. If I want to vote for Bawumia, I'll vote for Bawumia. If I want to vote for John Mahama, I'll vote for John Mahama. Prophecy has got nothing to do with whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm not the only person in Ghana, and then definitely, as we are going to the polls, someone will definitely win. So whether a prophet prophesies or not, there's going to be a win, and it's only one person who's going to win. So I don't think that as for the prophecy, I mean, they are doing their work as prophets and all that. And Ghana is a Christian country, so prophecies and stuff like that will come. But at the end of the day, our vote, it's our vote that will count. Yeah, you understand? It's the vote that will count, and not miracles. It's the vote. So if you are able to, they can say, what if they say Mama will win or Bamia will win, and they don't get the numbers they need? What would that do to them? So at the end of the day, it's just the votes that will tell. Yeah.
I believe in prophecies. We have two prophets, and then one thing for sure is there is prophecy, but it's like nowadays there are fake prophecies around. That is the reason why people are not being engaged in this all kind of thing. But recently, there was a time he made a statement that Mahama would never be a president. But now he has made a statement that Mahama will be a president. And then a lot of people are saying different things about it. Yes, God changes his mind. Because in the Bible there was a certain king, and then God sent a certain prophet to go and tell him to prepare himself for he will die. And then the king prayed to God, and then was able to explain things to God because he has a good heart for God. And then lo and behold, the prophet came back and then told the king that he has changed his mind and he has added additional years to it. So it is, though you see, when you look in the Bible, it is God who ordained kings. You see, though we human beings, we suppose we are facing some kind of challenges in the country. But from the look of things, you see, I always say this, the system is very, very hard. And then from the look of things, we are all willing to let Mama should come back. But for instance, like how you said, prophecy, I believe in prophecy. And what is a true man of God. And then what he has said is true. Yes.
At all. I believe in prophecies, but prophecies about election there, I don't think it works. Yeah, if the person has made his mind, there is no prophet that can change his mind to like vote. Yeah. They are free processes, but the Bible says in the end time they will come. So most of them now speaking like prophecies, they are all fake. Me, I don't believe in them. Yeah, definitely. those these days they're so-called prophets, they are all making money. Yeah, they are saying just to people one of the political parties. Yeah, just to make money out of them. So that's all. But me, I don't believe in it. If you really want to vote for, you need to see the person's policies if it's going to help you. But it's not the person prophesy that will make change your mind. No. I don't think so.
Me to me, and who or no not dream or this and
A complicated dynamic. In 2008, for instance, some prophets predicted victory for one candidate, but the election results shocked many when the opposite happened. Similarly, in 2016 and in 2020, prophecies played a role in shaping the narrative before the results were officially announced. While there have been instances where prophecy seemingly aligned with election results, it's important to recognize the political volatility and unpredictability in any elections. So this is the conversation of prophecies that we brought to you on Politics Today. Do you believe in prophecies, especially in regards or with regards to political elections? Do you make your decision based on what one prophet or the other has said? We leave it up to you. 7th December is when we go to the polls and Ghanaians will make a decision. Up next, Happy Hour comes. Stay with us. Well, happy hour today is the last working day of the week for those of you who have 5 days working day in the week, and there are things to enjoy over the weekend, right from this evening up until Sunday, to relax, to enjoy. So these are some of the programs happening so that you too can go and shed some of the stress away. Osagyefos Night 2024. This is Trigmatic and Friends live in concert, and they are celebrating Nkrumah's legacy in music, arts, and theater. It's happening at the Alliance Française Dakar, and it's from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Tickets are selling for 100 Ghana cedis. Who are on the bill? Akable Episode, AEC, Josh Black, and Nanasa. So you can buy tickets at www.trigmaticmusic.com. You can buy tickets from www.trigmaticmusic.com. Also, there's a Ghana versus Niger whose jollof reigns supreme, and it's happening at the Ghana Niger Festival. It's happening at the Ghana Niger Festival. But before you look at the Ghana Niger jollof, know that yes, at the Ghana Niger Festival, Stone Boy would be performing. He is the headline artist there. It's happening at the Accra Mall Good Park. So to purchase your tickets, star 713 star 33 hash star no take it again, star 713 star 33 star 12 hash, star 713 star 33 star 12 hash. That's where you can purchase your tickets, and it's going for 100 cedis. The program is tomorrow, 5th October, at the Accra Mall Good Park. So these are some of the places you can go and enjoy yourselves tomorrow. Additionally, if you and your friends have some good time, go and spend time together, interact with your friends, catch up with the friends you haven't heard from in a while, catch up with family. Don't just spend the weekend alone, cooped up. Do well to enjoy the weekend with friends and loved ones. But thank God it is Friday.